I need like hip hop therapy because I have this unhealthy love-hate relationship with abstract rap. Once a rapper gets slapped with this label, they cannot say a regular bar ever again. If that rapper went and said that he tied his shoe, there would be 10-page think pieces on what was the symbolism of the shoe, how does that fit into his last 3 albums. Which leads us to Earl Sweatshirt, and as I'm listening to the opening track, Old Friend, I'm getting these themes of isolation and the pandemic and coping, and thinking that these would be consistent themes and narratives that weave the rest of the album together. I didn't really get that. Then of course I go on the internet, read some reviews, look on Genius, and people are taking lines that I thought was regular braggadocio on a song like Titanic, writing whole thesis statements on how that relates back to the pandemic. And it sucked a lot of the enjoyment of the album out as I'm thinking, man, what am I missing? But after sitting with the album for a long time, I came to the realization I was right in the first place. While there's certainly common themes over the course of this album, there's no one link between all of these songs. As a matter of fact, there is one link, and that's just Earl and all of his messy and fragmented thoughts. But coming to that realization just skyrocketed my overall enjoyment of the album, and I was really able to see this album as what it is, and that's Earl delivering his messy and fragmented thoughts over some dope instrumentation and doing it in a really creative and masterful way. The song Old Friend that I alluded to earlier has this gorgeous beat produced by Alchemist. The synthy violin set the tone for the song, and I love how these shimmery synths creep in along with this vocal sample. Earl paints this beautiful picture of isolation with the beginning of his verse, and I love how carefully crafted his writing is, that it sets up these 3 possible meanings of old friends. Old friend in this song could be weed, his literal old friends with Odd Future, or it can be him writing music. 2010 is this stream of consciousness account of Earl's upbringing, honing in somewhat on that 2010 time period, which would have been his Odd Future days, but also rapping from earlier and later perspectives over the course of the song. Check out the complexity in this rhyme scheme and how he plays with that E sound. He raps where 7 make a 3 turn 10 by law, crescent moon wink, when I blinked it was gone, left the crib smack, no sheath on the sword, made it by the skin of my teeth, thank God. Plus he has some witty wordplay that 5 O's on me like the Olympics line is a haymaker. The beat on Sick is sick. The piano is woozy. Then this 808 clap comes in and it creates like this immediate contrast, and then it morphs into just a full-on trap beat. It kind of gave me this conflicted mood where it's a merging of 2 subgenres where the piano is super moody but the drums made you nod your head. Lyrically, Earl's flow matches the grogginess of the piano. His bar on it, pressure by the gram, gas, siphon, and smoke in my diaphragm, kind of plays into this groggy flow and kind of gives it the appearance of like a drug-induced grogginess. The song Tabula Rasa sees the abstract rap Avengers unite as Earl teams up with Arm & Hammer. Elucid spits a solid verse as his verse is laced with multis, but it's really Earl and Billy Woods who steal the show here. The keys and the vocal samples couldn't fit Billy Woods' verse any more perfectly as he paints this lucid picture of meeting this woman at a grown and sexy party. Earl, somewhat urgent, somewhat rapid fire delivery in his verse, contrasts with the calm despite the chaos around him theme that he dives into on his verse. He's rapid fire describing his mental state and the mayhem caused by like the pandemic and whatnot, and it's kind of a really descriptive way of saying it is what it is. Lobby is a straight up banger. The song's kind of the payoff for the trap influence that was teased on earlier songs in the album. The thumping 808 on this song had my face looking like I smell some chitlins. If you're really crafty, you can sneak this song in when your friends hand you the aux, if you're really careful about it. This song's not as lyrical as any of the other tracks on the album, but still one of my favorites. Titanic's another trap-inspired banger, but this one here is a bar fest. The punches on this one are heavy. He had the lines, get ghost like I need a killer, get ghost like an apparition, hometown hold me down like a rock, so you know how I gotta skip it, cause you know, skip town, skip a rock. Come on, man. Then this bar here is just filthy. Midtown niggas pimping, iceberg, Mac kinda slim, what they couldn't see sinking ships, capsize me and use a flip. You got the iceberg slim, Mac flip, then you got the capsize playing back into the Mac and to the iceberg, mean use a flip, saying you a snitch. Come on, man. Y'all catch up. Y'all gotta catch up. As far as negatives, I do think the album could benefit from just a little bit more cohesion. I'm a fan of the stream of consciousness style of rap, and I don't think every song has to have some deep meaning. But when he explores some topics, especially around his well-being and dealing with isolation, I think it's a little bit more enjoyable when there's more focus on that particular theme or that particular topic. Take the song Live, for example, which I still like as a song, but lyrically it is pretty messy. You can kind of say the same thing about God Laughs, but I think the dreamy beat is kind of the thread that ties these really fragmented bars together. And it's like the song itself is about Earl being in this hypnotic dream state. I think Earl was 2 for 3 with the features. Z Loopers is just not a great rapper, and he has a really prominent verse on the song Vision. If you're just listening for a vibe, the flow is dope, and the muddied lo-fi piano makes for a pretty dope beat. But critiques aside, this album ends at probably its highest point with the last song, Fire in the Hole. It's just hard to articulate how gorgeous the guitar is on this thing, and then the outro morphs into this equally beautiful piano solo. Earl's lyrics here center around these themes of resilience and these themes of love also creep in, and it's some of the most optimistic and positive outlook lyrics I've heard from Earl kind of ever. Overall, I think this is a really enjoyable album. The production here is excellent. I was really impressed with Black Noise, who managed to stand out as kind of the MVP of the album producer-wise, which is a feat when you have 2 tracks produced by The Alchemist. Earl is an extremely talented rapper, and the wordplay and the rhyme schemes here were excellent. Is this album better than some rap songs? Nope. But is it still fire? Absolutely. I'm giving this one a 7.75, or Gentleman's 8 as I like to call it.